Feds release list of celebs that fled the country after Diddy's trial announcement. Among them, Ben Affleck and T.D. Jakes. Hollywood's elite, those we see gracing red carpets and delivering motivational sermons, now tied to a whirlwind of suspicion, silence, and sudden overseas getaways. It sounds like a plot straight out of a thriller, but it's playing out in real time, with the world watching. There's something chilling and ironic about watching the same celebrities who live under the spotlight suddenly vanish into the shadows, but maybe that's what fame has always been. Not just about attention, but knowing when to disappear. Here's a surprising fact. During the McCarthy era in the 1950s, dozens of actors, directors, and writers fled the country or changed careers, altogether to avoid being subpoenaed or blacklisted for alleged ties to communism. Today, it's not red politics but red flags surrounding a music mogul that has stars scrambling for distance. The man at the center of it all? Sean Diddy Combs. An icon in the music industry, a mogul with decades of influence. And now, a man facing federal charges of sex trafficking, kidnapping, racketeering, and obstruction of justice. Diddy's trial is scheduled to begin on May 5, 2025, but its ripple effects are already making headlines. Not just because of the charges, but because of the sheer volume of celebrities who suddenly want nothing to do with him. Or at least, not while the cameras are rolling and subpoenas are flying. What's unfolding is not just a trial, but a mass exodus. Celebrities connected to Diddy, through parties, music collaborations, or business ties, are allegedly making themselves scarce. Reports claim that by the time the trial kicks off, the homes of stars like Jennifer Lopez, Jay-Z, Machine, Gun Kelly, Russell Brand, Usher, Ashton Kutcher, Mariah Carey, Justin Bieber, Kevin Hart, and even Will Smith will be mysteriously empty. They're not going to jail. They're just on vacation, as the spin might go. But, make no mistake, this is strategic. According to insider sources, the reason is clear. Nobody wants to be within shouting distance of a courthouse when Diddy starts talking. When someone with decades of insider knowledge faces a trial of this magnitude, the fear is less about guilt and more about association. One anonymous Hollywood insider put it bluntly: anyone who's ever partied with him could get dragged into the headlines, so they're hopping on private jets and heading to beaches far, far away. It's a classic move in the playbook of celebrity damage control. Vanish, stay quiet, and let the storm pass. But this isn't just about optics. Experts in brand management say the silence is calculated. Eric Schiffer, CEO of Reputation Management Consultants, explained that celebrities are scared to death of the public turning on them simply for being associated with Diddy. They are frozen by fear, he says. They've seen what happens when you get caught on the wrong side of public opinion. The psychology here is fascinating and terrifying. In a world where guilt by association can end careers, even an innocent photo from a 2009 party can go viral and become a PR nightmare. That's why, when people like Mariah Carey or Justin Bieber suddenly go radio silent, it might not be about guilt. It's about the brand. The situation gets even more complex with the inclusion of figures like Bishop T.D. Jakes. A highly respected pastor and founder of one of the most influential megachurches in America, Jakes found himself unexpectedly named in one of the civil suits connected to Diddy. Though he is not accused of wrongdoing, the lawsuit alleges that Diddy planned to use his connection with Jakes as a shield against the more serious accusations. It's a surreal twist. The spiritual world colliding with the scandal-soaked world of entertainment. Jakes has vigorously denied any involvement and, with good reason, moved to legally challenge the flood of misinformation online, including AI-generated deepfake videos falsely placing him at parties or events he never attended. His team has asked courts to intervene and remove this content from platforms like YouTube, where fake videos have racked up hundreds of thousands of views. The deeper you go into this story, the more it reveals. This isn't just about Diddy's guilt or innocence. It's about an entire ecosystem of fame that depends on control. Control of narrative, control of image, control of proximity. When that control breaks down, the instinct is to disappear, and Hollywood is very good at disappearing when it needs to. What's unfolding also sheds light on a long-standing problem in entertainment: how closely tied many public figures are, often unknowingly, to systems of exploitation. We've seen this pattern before. Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein. all-powerful men protected for years by money, fame, and silence. When the dam finally broke, the people around them weren't just shocked, they were scared. And make no mistake, people around Diddy are scared. The fear is real, not just because of what might come out in court, but because of what it could mean for everyone else in the room when the lights come on. Hollywood loves to tell stories, but it hates when the story turns inward. There's a historical symmetry to all of this. During the 2000s, Diddy was the embodiment of hip-hop wealth and cool. Private jets, lavish parties, champagne waterfalls. But that era is over. Today's audiences are more skeptical. We ask questions, we demand receipts. And when accusations, this serious, emerge, the response isn't prove it, it's run. This moment matters because it forces us to look beyond the headlines and ask, what is the cost of fame when it's used to shield harmful behavior? What does it mean when silence becomes complicity? And why do we, as a culture, give so much power to people who operate in the shadows? Maybe it's because we want to believe in the fairy tale of celebrity. But fairy tales are dangerous when they come without accountability. That's what this story is really about. Not just one man's downfall, but the systems that allowed him to rise unchecked. And so, as the trial begins, and the world waits to hear what Diddy will say, or what he might reveal, the stars will be elsewhere. On yachts, in villas, deep in the south of France, far from subpoenas and scandals. But no matter how far they run, the spotlight always finds its way back. Here's the real twist. For all their efforts to disappear, the silence of these celebrities might be the loudest part of this story. Because sometimes, what isn't said speaks volumes. And in a culture obsessed with visibility, invisibility is a choice. One that says far more than words ever could. The recent legal troubles of Sean Diddy Combs have sent shockwaves through Hollywood, prompting a significant number of celebrities to distance themselves from the music mogul. Diddy faces serious charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering, with his trial set to commence on May 5, 2025. In anticipation of the trial, several high-profile individuals who have had associations with Diddy are reportedly planning to leave the country to avoid potential media scrutiny and legal entanglements. Reports indicate that celebrities such as Jennifer Lopez, Jay-Z, Russell Brand, Machine Gun Kelly, Ashton Kutcher, Usher, Justin Bieber, Mariah Carey, Kevin Hart, and Will Smith are among those expected to be absent from Hollywood during the trial period. An insider revealed, the homes of the rich and famous with any kind of links to Combs, no matter how innocent, will be empty come May. No one will wish to be around when the hearing kicks off and Combs starts throwing names around. Diddy has been detained at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn since his arrest in September 2024. He faces multiple felony charges, including racketeering and sex trafficking, which carry severe penalties if convicted. The trial is anticipated to be one of the most explosive in recent showbiz history, with the potential to expose numerous secrets and connections within the industry. Among the names mentioned in the lawsuit is Bishop T.D. Jakes, a prominent pastor and founder of the Potter's House megachurch. While Jakes is not accused of any wrongdoing, the lawsuit alleges that Diddy planned to leverage his relationship with Jakes to mitigate the impact of other allegations against him. Jakes has categorically denied any involvement in the scandal. His legal team has also taken action against the spread of misinformation, particularly AI-generated content falsely implicating him in the case. This situation highlights the complex interplay between celebrity culture, media, and the legal system. The swift actions of these celebrities to distance themselves from Diddy reflect a broader concern about the potential fallout from the trial. It also raises questions about the extent to which individuals in the entertainment industry are willing to go to protect their reputations. As the trial unfolds, it will not only determine Diddy's fate, but also potentially reshape the dynamics of celebrity associations and accountability in Hollywood. This mass departure underscores the apprehension within the entertainment industry regarding potential implications of the trial. The fear is not just about being named, but also about the reputational damage that could ensue from any association with the scandal.